10 o'clock. Calling the meeting to order of the Gilliam County Court, December 3rd, 2025. A quorum has been established. Commissioner Watkins is present and Commissioner Wilkins is by virtual. We'll now have the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome. Are there any additions or revisions to the agenda? No, none. I do want to ask you within the agenda under new business, what financial reports you'd like to see before you. Okay. Whether that be bank reconciliations, trial balance, balance sheet, revenue expense report. You may not know right now, but I just want us to get on a schedule of which particular financial reports you want to see. So we can put that under new business. Okay, correspondence and public comment. Let's go into. Do we have any members of the public who would like to comment? Either in person or virtually? Okay, then let's just go through the list. We have an update from Gilliam County Public Health, DaiLene Wilson.
Good morning. Morning. How is everybody?
Good. How are you?
Good. You guys have already had like a morning, haven't you? Yeah. I'll try to get in and out and keep it easy peasy. So yeah, DaiLene Wilson, Gilliam County Public Health Administrator. I was hoping today that we would have our triennial review results. I know we were kind of waiting and holding off to give this update until all of that came, and it is still in limbo and we're still waiting on that, but I can, speak to that more on how the process went and, what I think we'll be seeing at least. But I thought today would be a good opportunity just to give an update on what we're doing and how things are going, and give you guys a opportunity to ask any questions that you might have. Okay. I sent this out yesterday. I don't know if you guys were able to see it, but it's just kind of a very broad highlight of some of the things that we're doing. A lot of the stuff that we do is kind of behind the scenes and not super visual, like the communicable disease control, but I just thought I'd speak out and say that, Gilliam County thankfully does not get a lot of reportables. The numbers are low. They continue to stay low. We haven't had any outbreaks of anything that we've needed to get a hold of. So that's all looking really good. But again, that's something that's behind the scenes that nobody really thinks about or sees that we do and that we're responsible for, and is a really big piece of what we do. So that's been good. Emergency preparedness. We have a really great emergency manager here at Gilliam County. Chris is awesome to work with, and she helps me through a lot of the pieces, but we try to be involved in as many things with her as we can. And like community night out, we helped put that on and went to Arlington and went to Condon. Currently, we're sitting in going through the updates that she's doing with the emergency operation plans and being a part of that discussion too. Okay. The big thing I think the last time we talked about was the prevention coordinator. So we focus mostly on getting the summer program up and running, and there's a little note about that below, but we can talk about it now. It went over really, really well. We had we got some good feedback. We had about an average of 15 kids per day. There's those hires and lowers, with some of the other summer programs that were going on too, but overall we had some really good feedback from parents. We put out a little survey the last week just so they had an opportunity to give us some suggestions, but it went really well. And since then we've still been kind of on hold on hiring a coordinator and reaching out with that, just because my focus has been on some other deliverables that need to happen. But the new thing that has come up is a conversation that's going to happen next week with Morrow County and Wheeler County. We were approached last week by my program leader and had mentioned that the county that took care of Morrow County ADPEP had been dropped, and Morrow County does not have the alcohol drug prevention program at this point. And so they're trying to figure out a way of how to bring that back to Morrow County, and wanted to talk about the possibility of a regional kind of collaboration between the three counties, as we're kind of the newest ones that are tackling this program. And what I told him, I said, I'm always open to the conversation. I'm willing to listen, but I do, have some hesitancy around it. And part of that being, a smaller county, I think we tend to be forgotten. We're easier, there's not as many things going on, doesn't make it any less important. But my concern would be that, as the smaller county, that we could get lost in the mix. So we'll be having a meeting next week to talk more about that, what it could look like. We're not committed to anything. We're just having the conversation. So we're going to kind of finish up that piece of what that could look like before we continue down the path of whether we hire somebody locally or a regional partnership. So I'll keep you updated on what that looks like. I will be including Lisa Helms in that conversation too. I know she's got a lot of history of what that looked like before. And so I really want to kind of rely on her past experiences and expertise and, to help me see pros and cons of what each could look like. So something that's coming down the pike.
You told me that they were with Grant County.
Yes.
Do you know why they chose that?
I don't have any information what
Find out again.
maybe. Yeah. I don't have any of that, unfortunately. I know Wheeler County, this is the first year that Wheeler County has taken back the ADPEP program too. I don't remember if they were with Grant County as well. But they pushed for a couple years to be able to get that back. And so this is their first year taking it on. And there's still it was Grant County because there is still a little bit of collaboration with Grant County and I think counselors and stuff that happen with that. So, but we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
WIC is running well. We've got 2 days per month that we see participants. And so we have a day in Condon and a day in Arlington, travel back and forth. If we have families that contact us that need to get signed up before we go, before we have our appointment date scheduled, we'll make, arrangements outside of those scheduled dates to try to get people on as quickly as possible. We've had several families move here recently that have brought our numbers down. We're working to try to get them back up, but there's only so many people to work with and so many things to do. So we're still plugging away, but it's going well. Family child services, that's going really well. We sent Ashley to a training this summer to be a car seat specialist. And so if we have families that, want to have their car seat checked to make sure it's installed correctly, she can come in, take a peek, give them suggestions, let them know what needs to be changed. So I think the sheriff's office keeps some car seats. We're looking to.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
When I was a justice court judge and we had seatbelt citations for children, most of the people weren't from here, so we would send them somewhere to learn about safe installation of a car seat and then get a certificate of a sign off. Is that something that she can do, or is that out of the realm?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I would like to think that, it was almost a week long of going through. I'd like to think that she would be able to sign off on that.
Okay. If so, you could just check into it.
Yeah. Definitely. I will look into that because if we had somebody locally that just needed, then we could certainly look in. Yeah. I don't see why not, but if it's like legality and
Yes.
who signs off. I don't know the answer to that side of it. So we'll reach out and ask at least her instructor and
Yeah.
what that looks like. And maybe, that would be a good policy or, a plan to have in place to help out too. Okay. Immunizations, we're coming up on school exclusion dates. That's this kind of a busy time. We start to get the reports from the schools, who needs immunizations, send the reports back to the state. It seems to go pretty smoothly. We have been offering, since we started, immunization clinics in Arlington. A month or so after school starts, that gives the kids to get caught up before all the exclusion stuff comes out. And then we offer a second one a little bit before the school exclusion date happens, again, to give them an opportunity to get their immunizations locally before they can't go to school. That seems to be going well. The only feedback we've had with immunization clinics, we've had questions as to why we don't offer it in Condon and only Arlington. And that's simply because we reside here in Condon and the clinic's open 5 days a week and they can come anytime to get the immunizations. Whereas in Arlington, that, it's not there. And the clinic in Arlington doesn't offer all of the immunizations that are needed for what schools require. And so that we make sure we are there so that they get that opportunity and don't have to travel.
Okay.
The big thing that's coming up is the modernization. So PE 51 is modernization, and that's where most of the dollars come from. There are 3 big deliverables that are due at the end of this year. So 3 big plans: a climate adaptation plan, a health equity plan, and a larger, broader modernization plan. And those are looking to be completed on time. I've hired contractors to help me with each of those to get them done, simply because I don't have the time to run all the programs and put all of these, plans together that have so many pieces that, OHA is requiring. So those are going well. Leah and I are meeting next week to review one of them. We have to have input from commissioners. So she and I are going to look through what I put together and see what that looks like. Triennial review, I think that would be the last piece. So throughout the summer, it started like May, June, I scheduled individual meetings with each separate program and went through each program and their review tool. Most of them thankfully came to Condon and met with me here, which I think is great. A lot of them had never been here before, and it was very eye-opening for them to see how remote we are and how small we are. The perspective, for them to have the perspective, is nice. But in meeting with each individual program, those reviews went very smoothly and very well. There were no findings that are that are big findings. So I don't anticipate seeing anything there. The one that we are waiting on is the fiscal piece, and the fiscal team is between the higher ups and the one that does the review are changing a few things, and that's taking her longer to complete our fiscal portion because of the changes that they're trying to make at the state level. There will be a couple findings there. It's more in kind of how we've requested dollars and how we're showing the dollar amounts back and forth, like what the state sends versus what we've spent. And so just cleaning some of that up. We've brought Brooklyn into a couple conversations with us to so that we all have an understanding on both ends of like what the state wants, how they want it to look, so that we can try to make it as squeaky clean as possible. Each year it changes a little bit as we learn more. It's getting better and better, but the state also changes, it seems like, every year on kind of what their requirements are and what they would like to see. So it's just keeping up. But overall, it went really well, and I'm hopeful that the final results will come. It goes to you as county court.
Okay.
So you'll see the results it's sent to me as well. Once we have those, if we want to sit down and just go through them more thoroughly, I'm certainly
Great.
available for that.
Good.
Brooklyn is also getting the detailed expenditure reports, quarterly reports. So you guys will have access to those. But other than that,
I'll
questions?
just make one little comment.
Yes.
But I went to a public health session down there at AMC, and their small county example was Crook County. It
Oh.
had 18 people.
Yes.
On staff.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Many counties have lots of staff. We are very fortunate, having clinic staff, we've got a little bit of everybody. Ashley and I and Lisa are, the main ones that are tied to this and doing a lot of the work. But we're very lucky that we've got as many hands as we do.
Yeah.
And Wheeler County's in a similar boat as you, right?
Yes, yeah. Sarah Hartenstein. So she's the new administrator within these past couple months. She comes from a public health education background. She's amazing.
Mhm.
And
great.
she and I get together often and, bounce ideas back and forth with one another. And she has been able to hire one person to help her part-time, but yeah, very, very
Good.
similar situations for sure. Yeah. But either of you have questions for me? Anything that I can expand on?
I do not. You?
No, but thank you, and
Yeah.
you do a stellar job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, reach out if you ever have anything that comes up.
I'll see you next Tuesday.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, DaiLene. Next, on correspondence 3.2, we have a letter from the Port of Arlington regarding audit service status update. So it's in your packet. You have anything to add to that or not?
Just the port is on track with our action plan for the audit.
Great. All right, 3.3, there is a letter from the county assessor regarding the 25-26 potential refund credit report. Are there any questions about that?
I looked that. I gotta find it. Who is Lumen Technologies?
We would have to ask him. Yeah, I don't know. Is this a new appeal?
Yeah, I was like,
Should we bring him in and ask him who it is?
I thought Lumen was broadband. I thought it had to do with CenturyLink.
Could someone please go ask Chad if he could pop his head in here and we'll ask since we're on this?
When I Google it, it says fiber optic network.
okay.
And then while we're waiting on him, there, under 3.4, there's the Portland State University 2025 population estimate, which is promising on our population.
1,122 souls.
Under- Sorry, Leah just had a question.
I was looking at the list, and I was like, who is Lumen Technology?
Lumen Technologies was AT&T,
Oh,
but we can't withhold any, or we don't have to withhold any from them because they're below the threshold. And it would only be like $12,000 anyway, so that's one that wouldn't be an issue.
okay.
Yeah. So, you have any more questions?
You have any more questions? Where
And where
status?
are they at on all
Status?
these?
Well, the same status as I emailed you guys. So the Supreme Court ruled that the state was valuing the utilities correctly, and they sent it back to the lower court to make a valuation decision. We were hoping that they would have to appeal again instead of just sending it back so we could release all of those funds, but they didn't. So it's ongoing, but we're closer.
Like,
Oh, sorry.
do we
I'm not
know?
gonna tell you,
No idea.
no, hopefully this year, but
Oh, okay.
we
Good.
thought that last year. So
Yeah,
But Chet, when that's done, you have the funds, you can release it though, right? When you get the,
Correct.
yes.
yes,
Okay,
Yes, depending on what the ruling is and if there's a refund or not. But
correct.
at this point, it looks like it would be less of a refund than, they're not going to win the complete amount that they're appealing. So, but we won't know until we actually have a judgment.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Shaking. Shaking? Yeah. Okay. All right, 4.0 consent agenda. We have the October vendor payment approval report as well as a November. We have a CAPECO service agreement for funding of meal services program. Approval of amendment 1 to ODOT grant agreement and approval of regular minute meetings from November 5th, 2025.
I
you have any
I
questions?
started to read through the one vendor report and I realized that it had all that homestead.
Oh, yes.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
I will second the motion.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Right. Unfinished business. We do not have any items under unfinished business for this meeting. 6.0 new business. What financial reports would you like to see as a county court monthly? And if you don't know now, I just want you to think about it.
Okay.
I thought maybe we could reach out to other counties and find out, what they see before their boards.
So a lot of them, like if you go to Jefferson County, I think they post all their financials
On their
online.
website.
Yeah,
So we could use them as an example
yeah.
and see. Do you have any thoughts, Commissioner Wilkins?
No, I know Brooklyn and Nathan have been very busy working on things and but yeah, I'll think about it some more and maybe the next meeting.
Okay. Make a decision on what we want to see and then look at Jefferson County, maybe reach out to Sherman County. These are ones that use Cassell, same system. Okay, work on that. 6.1, consider approval of court order 2025-01 modifications of conditions of approval for a conditional use permit issued to waste management disposal services. Have we reviewed the court order? The court order was prepared by our planning department and all approvals have been completed. And it's a 5-year conditional use permit approval. Excuse me? The plan is online. Okay. Stephanie, did you want to chime in?
Yes, good morning. I would just add, we had the public hearing on November 5th and had that approval before us. And as a reminder, this order would be the court order today. And then in the future, this specific matter would move in front of the Planning Commission. And then the court would retain the host fee agreement and other road use agreements as necessary.
So what you're saying is proper course is that the Planning Commission would approve the conditional use permit going forward, and then we would approve the host fee agreement, road use agreement.
Correct. Yep.
We're working to separate the two, so it's been a bit of a process.
Yep. So I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have about the order. And then Exhibit A are the conditions that were approved based on the recommendation from Planning Commission that was approved at the November 5th public hearing in front of this board.
Same stuff we saw
Yes.
last meeting.
Same.
Do you have motion language something?
We don't have a motion language, but it would be a motion to, are we adopting the court order or approving the court order, Stephanie?
I'm not exactly sure what the language would need to be for your benefit here.
Adopt.
Okay.
Okay. Commissioner Wilkins, since you're not present, I continue to reach out to you to make sure that you are, provide your input. Did you have anything to add?
I don't, and I looked it over. Everything looks good to me. And if the court doesn't have any other, does anybody else have any more discussion on it, or?
No. So is there a motion to adopt court order number 2025-01?
I will so move. I will so move to adopt court order number 2025-01 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt court order number 2025-01. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, it's good to have that complete. We just have one more piece, and that's the host fee agreement. We are to 6.2. Consider approval of capital investment grant funding recommendations with applications, grant review committee. Brooklyn or Marta, did you want to address us or just go through the report?
Yeah, if you guys want me to, or
What's your preference, Commissioner? Yeah, come on now, you'd like.
I don't have much else to provide aside from what you guys have received in your packets. We met a couple times to go over the capital investment grants. Anderson Perry came in to propose on theirs during our meeting as it's over that $400,000 threshold. So Brad is here again today to talk with you guys if you have any questions.
That's on
As-
City of Arlington.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the City of Arlington's project.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have much else unless you guys have questions for us. You guys have
All of the applications.
all
Oh,
of the information.
Can Brooke speak up?
Sorry.
Do you mind?
I was just saying, I don't really have much else to add unless they have questions of us. We met a couple times. City of Arlington's representative is here to talk about their project as it's over that $400,000 threshold. There's additionally other people in the audience that have applications that are also here. Should you guys have any questions? If you guys have any questions of the committee, I can attempt to answer them. But we are a committee of four, so
right,
we back these decisions as recommendations.
right. Commissioner Wilkins, do you have any questions? I just want to let you know who's in the audience. We have Brad Baird, City of Arlington. We have Herb Winters, SWCD, Catherine Greiner, City of Condon, North Gilliam Fire, Joe Clotton, and then we have Gilliam County Fire Services, Casey Zellers, and Rock Creek Community Center.
The only question I have is for the Gilliam County Fire Services, the 45,988 requested. I don't know, going through the application, I mean, this vehicle is over 15 years old, if I recall. I don't know. I would like to see us fully fund that, but that's just my opinion. Everything else I am good with.
I agree with you, Grant.
So I would just like to know what the thinking of the grant committee seems.
I think it was just getting the buy-in from the other individuals that are part of the IGA with the Gilliam County Services, and I think that was the general idea behind it. Was they have established a reserve fund at this point, which they didn't have before to replace their vehicle, and now it was just looking at receiving those funding from those other entities that also support the organization.
Yeah. And I want to thank you for all the work you do. When we make a decision contrary to what you recommend, it's just a decision that we make. One of the things I look at is two of the entities that may be approached are here asking for grant funds. So it's, they have needs as well. And it's a small amount of money. Statewide, fire is top of the list of what we should be supporting. So,
So could we, funded if their additional funding doesn't come through?
You could put some sort of language in your motion
So
that
if that,
says,
and then their funding didn't come through, we would fund the rest of it.
Okay, here's Casey gonna speak.
You want me to come up or?
Yeah, come up so we can hear.
I mean, hates turning money away from other people.
So my name is Casey Zellers. I'm the operations chief for Gilliam County Fire Services. Kind of the history of Gilliam County Fire Services and their funding avenues is we do have an intergovernmental agreement between the county, the two cities of Arlington and Condon, and the two fire districts, South and North Fire Districts. Historically, there has been no increase to our operating budget. So I think 2014 and 15, it was, I don't have my numbers with me, somewhere in the amount of, I don't remember. It was very low. I want to say it was like operating was like 75,000 annually. That was for wages, vehicle, training, which the training budget also is part of that goes to the north and south. So there really hasn't been an increase. And in 23-24 fiscal year, we went to the entities and asked for more inflation costs, vehicle fuel, maintenance, personal expenses, everything was through the roof. And then that was granted. So I don't feel, well, and then North Fire District on their own will decided to give an additional 20,000 to my budget annually. That's earmarked towards personnel expenses. Through the years, there was no real money. So I feel that going to these other entities, South Fire District, they can't add any more into the coffers. And I like to try to keep everything between all my entities fair. So for me, I don't feel that I can go and ask my entities right now because we just did a major, the county, their increase was, I believe, like $20,000 2 years ago is, part of the county budget. So going through the grant process, that was my thinking.
Mhm.
And then, the vehicle costs plus coming out of my equipment reserve of, I think it was just shy of 15,000 out of my equipment reserve, then being able to sell the current truck through public auction, which vehicles are going astronomically high. And then that can replenish my costs into my equipment reserve or maintenance funds or into a contingency and disperse it that way to help offset my budget and doing it that way. And I know we've been in kind of talks with Sheriff Bentoncourt. They have a vehicle that would fit the needs of fire services that doesn't sound like they're going to be using anymore. So that's an option and maybe things can work out that way too.
Right. Okay.
But I just don't feel that I can right now go to the entities and be like, I need an additional 5,000 for you, 5,000 from you, 5,000 from you to help make up that difference of 30 to 45.
Right. So there's a chance it could be less than 40.
It could be.
That's possible.
It could be.
I'm hearing is that money would be then used to buy a county vehicle. Is that what was just said?
Could be. Yeah.
So I guess there's two options. Option A is to purchase a new one, which is 14 to 18 weeks out, because you have to order it through government process, government bid. Then I'd have to have it upfitted. Where the county one's already got that, and it's a newer vehicle.
Right. Could we do, if that's the choice that's made, I don't think we can decide what vehicle you choose, if that's the choice you make, that we would, approve the amount based on what's ever the agreement that's reached with the county.
Yeah, I believe so. However it's gonna work.
Okay.
So Casey, either way, you need to have a vehicle replaced.
Yeah,
And so you mentioned something about possibly the sheriff's office vehicle. This is a pickup also?
Yes, so it's the one that was the undersheriff's pickup that was fully outfitted. I don't know. It's a 2024 Ram 2500 crew cab short box with canopy, and
About 8,000.
how many?
8,000.
About 8,000 miles on it. So,
yeah.
well, whatever the sheriff, whatever that time frame would be.
So they're looking to not need this vehicle. And
Yeah,
maybe,
from my understanding.
maybe Gary could sell it for 10 grand.
Said maybe Gary could sell it for 10 grand.
Um,
I need a Tahoe.
Oh. In the big scheme of all these applications, this is $15,000. And this is a need. It's not going to deplete the balance significantly. We're helping our community in a lot of ways. I concur with fully funding all applicants.
I agree. With that extra, we're just bumping it up 16 grand basically, but my thoughts are appreciate everything the grant committee has done and everything and the work that they do, and I'm okay with all of the requests. I'm good with the county fire services funding that full amount.
And just going through all the applications, and you don't have to stay if you don't want to. Thank you. I think Envision Eye Care for All has been a very successful addition to the community. City of Arlington, thank you for being here. That's going to be an awesome addition for the community, people traveling through. I think a lot of people stop in Boardman at their splash pad, and it may be used a lot similar to that. And North Gilliam Fire, of course, we have to have radio. City of Condon, that's an expansion of the $200,000 project for the sidewalk on the west side. This is on, the east side. This is on the west side. So that's a great project. Fire services, it's a vehicle. Condon High School, is Michelle still here? Yes. Yours is as well. Rock Creek Community Center, we're preserving a building that needs preservation. Or it's going to be on the ground. We don't take care of it. And the SWCD also with the momentum we have going with the virtual fence program. So I just want to say I support these. We're so fortunate to have this funding. We need to be united and not divided when we have these applications come to us, because this is sometimes hard decisions, but how fortunate we are to have this opportunity to make. A lot of other counties don't have any extra funding, and they're just trying to fund the mandated services they have. Do you have any other thoughts?
No. So is the the figure at the top, Brooke, that's what that 1,092,074, that's all the requests together, right?
Yeah.
Not the recommendations?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll move to approve a grant funding. And do you want me to list the amount or just the
Total for capital investments.
yeah. In the amount of $1,192,074.
I will second the motion.
It has been moved and seconded to approve capital investment grants for fiscal year 25-26 in the total amount of $1,192,074. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
I,
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you for all of the great applications and to make our community better.
Thank you.
Okay, well. It was a big meeting. I have a lot of documents here. Should pull out the agenda sometime. Okay, special projects, grant recommendations. 6.3. Okay, go ahead.
We received 9 applications in total. The majority actually came out of the North End, which is great. It was one applicant for the North End there. So I think that's why you see some of them were do not fund. It was 5 requests, and we funded the 3, or recommended to fund the 3, just based on what the projects were. I think one was weight room related, which was community focused, safety upgrades. And then one of the 3 projects that were more in line with community development as well, student development. I believe that's the music one.
Okay.
Look at that. Other than that, we support all of the projects that were presented, and do you guys have any questions?
I appreciate that Arlington was taking advantage of applying, but we need to be realistic about what can be accomplished as well. So picking a few projects, I support that. Let's get those completed and then maybe come back at a later date for the additional, because they applied for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So.
I am
Commissioner
okay
Wilkins?
with the recommendation of the grant committee on these, and I don't have any other questions.
yeah, I am too.
I am as well.
I'll move to approve the competitive grants committee's recommendations for the special project grants for 2025-2026.
Sorry, I want to make sure I was on. I'll second the motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the grant committee's recommendations for special projects grant applications for the fall cycle 25-26. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Brooklyn. Yep. Thank you, committee, for all your hard work. Okay. The host fee agreement, 6.4, discussion of Gilliam County host fee and road use agreement with Waste Management, Chemical Waste Management. It is under legal review. Our legal counsel has reviewed the proposed agreement, and now it's in the hands of Waste Management. The plan is to bring you the agreement December 17th. Okay. If something were to go awry, I've already talked to Waste Management to determine if they would have no objection to extending the agreement a month or 2 if we had something we just couldn't settle on. Okay. But I did, just as a point of for us all to understand, the amount that Waste Management pays in property taxes currently is $2.454 million. And with the addition of the gas plant, it would be well over $3 million. That's just property taxes, because they would be paying as long as it would be full taxed, and they may not qualify for another incentive program, which it sounds they may not. But
On the gas plant.
yeah. So $3.2 million is the estimate. And these are estimates. These are nothing set in stone. These are just estimates. The one question I did ask is their current glass plant going to be decommissioned, or because then the tax would be a wash, and I was told, no, it will stay online. So if it's still operating, this is additional tax, the pipeline and the plant. So we need to consider that when we're talking about, you know, what are we getting? And then when you add the host fees, which with the potential increase we're looking at almost $8.5 million from Waste Management. And that puts them as the top gifter to Gilliam County at that amount. So that's just a perspective. Doesn't mean it's the only thought.
It'd be nice if they pump some of that gas off into Arlington.
Mhm. I did talk to the pipeline person because I wanted to understand how did the 18 miles of pipeline get put in? Because I wasn't here. Do you know much about that? Because we signed off on that. Gilliam County did. And maybe we could have asked for something then. But I did talk to the pipeline person and said, how do we benefit from this pipeline? He said we could tap into it. You know, it's available. What he meant is it's part of infrastructure that is there. So I did ask those questions.
Yeah, because it's not, how far across country would it be to get it?
I don't know. It goes to Port, so I don't know. It's 18 miles in our right of way. Yeah, almost all the way. And I have that map, but not up here. So, so virtually the conditions of the conditional use, or excuse me, the host fee agreement would be, they ask for some refinement on industries free disposal. And so we propose some modifications to that so that we don't have things like wind parts and wind components going into the landfill for free, that there's some things that that was never the original spirit of the agreement. We want small businesses, contractors, local people cleaning up their properties, small industry, not taking up a lot of landfill footprint.
Yeah.
Like for that was one of their concerns. An increase in the host fee, which we discussed about that, and then taking those things that actually belonged in the conditional use permit out and putting them in the conditional use permit. And the road use agreement would remain in place. That all stays the same. They would pay 80% of the cost of the road maintenance. So those are the basics.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the legal review. So do you have any questions? Do you, Commissioner Wilkins?
No.
The one thing is the tires. They say they can't take tires. So they're not permitted for. I know, that's something that we might have to help solve.
Recycle center.
Yeah, where could they go? I think we should, no, I don't wanna see tires alongside the road.
Yeah.
Because
Can they not take tires at a fee? So
they're not permitted for tires.
Uh,
Yeah, according to what they're telling
Cause I know for airport and we go to the transfer station for $5 a tire,
me. Mm-hmm,
and then that just goes to Finley View.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here's the resolution.
Yeah.
Take me to Finley View.
Drive them up the freeway.
Well, I'll ask more questions about it to try to come up with some solutions before we bring it to you. And I think that's most of what's gonna affect the community. Okay. Okay, consider approval of Just Steeves Homestead rebate request. The commissioners have any input?
So I think this is a slippery slope. I mean, if we make an exception for one guy, then we're gonna get more. And I don't think in the past they've made exceptions. The assessor's office would probably answer it better.
Right.
But I think it's pretty clear, and the fact that he was lived there already and knew the process and then still missed the deadline and, yeah, that's my feeling.
Commissioner Wilkins?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I agree with Commissioner Watkins. This is not the first time that somebody has tried to challenge it after the due date, and they've got a policy, and like I say, it's unfortunate, but if we do something here, I just feel we're just open kind of Pandora box.
I agree. You have the right to appeal, to ask. But I think if I remember right, there was one person who was only 1 day late and that person didn't ask for an appeal and was, there's a hard deadline for a reason.
Yeah.
So should we make a motion to deny the request for homestead rebate?
Do we need?
Well, he did officially appeal it.
Okay. I move to deny, Jeff Steeves' request to get his homestead rebate.
I will second the motion.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, Brittany Dark, consider approval of Ford family tables and chairs trailer repairs. Hello.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
So, yes, the county's owns a set of tables and chairs within a trailer, commonly known as the Ford Leadership Action Group Tables and Chairs. The Chamber of Commerce currently houses the reservation system for that and manages the rental of that asset. It has been utilized quite a bit. According to the tables and chairs, they were replaced in 2007 is what is written on them. So I'm not sure if that's really, or if that was the founding class.
So just a second. I remember it was 2007.
Do you remember?
Because Devin was with us that spring. It's a landmark in my mind, because Marta, Michaelo and I did the class together.
Yeah.
Do you not think it was 2007?
Oh, Gary was in it.
You did it too? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't remember you, Carrie, sorry.
That's okay. I was in the corner.
Well, it's definitely been something that's been utilized extensively throughout the years. And so it's been brought up that it is in need of some repair and some refinishing. So I've come up with a quote as far as some of the different things that could be upgraded or refinished, as well as the current inventory of tables and chairs. Well, we currently have 31 tables, 110 chairs, 2 table carts, 6 chair carts, a hitch and a ramp, and a key lock. The use for 2024 was 14 uses, so that's different instances, and the use year to date for 2025 is 34.
Wow.
So we've seen quite an increase in the usage of this, and everybody has really appreciated what you guys have put together for all of us to use, and we would like to see that continue. So a couple of the requests that we have is to revise the contract and requirements of use. Within the packet that I provided you, it has our current link and some suggestions, but I didn't know if that was something that the county wanted to take on, revise a contract, and then give it to us to execute, or what that looked like. Some of the different things that came up on other requirements is like a proof of insurance as well as a driver's license, as well as potentially a deposit for the use of the vehicle, or maybe even like a cleaning fee. So some of those are some of the things, or if you'd like to continue it the way that it is, which is currently free, we do not require any proof of insurance or driver's license. They just simply need to request it and return it back to us and sign a Google sheet. So
What, how does Sherman County?
they do it with a paper form, and they do require a proof of a driver's license and $200. And then and like who's going to be driving the vehicle, but I don't believe they require insurance. I believe Wheeler County is the one that requires insurance and a driver's license.
Okay. Okay.
And they both require a fee.
All right.
Sherman and Wheeler.
Okay.
Yep. So, and the fees are $200 usually to rent it for one time, and then it's 100% refundable for Sherman County, and I don't recall for Wheeler if it's 100% refundable. But
Okay.
so that is something that I guess just when we want to revise that, what we want to do, just some guidance, I think, from you guys and what you'd like to do.
If you agree, we can work together. And Sherman County has a contract, right?
Right, yeah, we
can
could do
model
up a
on
rough
top of
draft.
Theirs, yeah, go through the draft of theirs and then propose that.
Okay.
That's what I.
Would you like me to work with Kelly? I can work with Kelly Nonprofit and accomplish that, or would the county like to take that?
Kelly's fine.
Okay.
And I think there definitely needs to be cleaning deposit. Cause I've seen those tables come out, they are not.
Well, no
Those
excuse, but
barbecue
people are
sauce on
exhausted when
them.
they're done, and they need to be held accountable.
Yeah.
And originally, though, that was something though that we, as a group, before the leadership action group, we wanted to make them attainable by everybody in the county. We wanted, and so we had lots of discussion about, do we charge, do we not charge, how much do we charge?
Yeah.
And we chose at that point to go to free and then ask people to be accountable on their own. They're getting this wonderful service.
Yeah.
And so, clean up after yourselves, people. And, right away, we knew that was a problem.
Right.
That it wasn't happening, but
Mm-hmm.
are you talking about both trailers now? Brittany?
No,
Well,
I'm
at
just
this
talking about this.
Yeah, and then
This is
model it.
Southfield.
Right.
We'll get the model figured out, is what I'm thinking, and then figure out what to do with the Arlington trailer.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, the Arlington trailer definitely needs some love as well.
Yes.
Right, it needs,
Yeah.
And I started a spreadsheet for them as far as like racks and stuff like that, so that we can.
That's the biggest issue.
Yeah.
That's a tough sell to charge people. $200 is a lot of money.
That's just what they do.
Sherman County.
I know, I get that.
Yeah,
It's
Sherman
just-
County's is just a deposit of $200.
Oh,
And
they get
that's-
it back?
They
yeah.
get it back.
Oh.
Yeah,
This is just a deposit, and
That's-
it's
yeah.
only their amount, doesn't mean what we would.
Yeah.
Exactly, but I didn't understand that it was a deposit.
Yeah.
I thought it was a charge, so
No.
that's a different story, and yeah, somebody's gotta go in and clean them. But
Mhm,
that's been an ongoing issue from day one,
mhm,
how to ensure that they're clean when they go
yeah,
back, so.
okay. Oh, sorry, Mr. Clark.
That was my only question was, on a deposit, what that would entail would be somebody inspecting,
Yeah,
going in and inspecting the trailer after each
Mhm.
use. And so that's time and travel and all that.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure that's probably why there wasn't one.
Right. That's
And-
part of it, is that
Yeah.
we didn't have anybody that would step up and that could do that.
Mhm.
And that's, it's another volunteer, it's
Yeah.
considerable time and effort. And, it's a tough,
We also didn't have the chamber then to do it. It was here,
right, and that's why it went in under the county auspices.
Yeah.
Because we wanted it to be countywide, we wanted it to have a countywide umbrella
Mhm.
versus the Condon.
Yeah,
It's definitely been utilized, yeah.
Yeah, so, and the whole county's used it, and one of the criteria was that it stayed in Gilliam County. And I think that probably is the same criteria now, I don't know that for a fact.
I did not know that was a previous
It was a
criteria.
it should stay in Gilliam County.
Then it was
Gilliam
always
County
be-
has one and Sherman County has one.
And they modeled that up after what we did, cause we were so good.
I was gonna say that we have utilized it in other counties when those counties' trailers are already in use for that same event.
Well, with that,
So like we would use it for, well, Sherman County, we used it for Fall Fest because we needed 2 amounts of trailers worth of tables.
What does everybody think about that?
So I just know.
Or maybe
and Chris can
charge
speak
them.
to this, even when we've used it at the fairgrounds, cause we have white tables and chairs too. And we have to go through and, I mean, Chris is the inspector that looks at all the tables, so how do you make sure that you're getting the correct tables and chairs back when they do stuff like that?
Are they marked?
they're all.
Yeah, they're marked.
They're marked, but whether or not the people that are loading them,
Yeah,
just,
kids don't pay attention,
Right,
they
no.
just throw them in there and they grab the fair board ones and throw them into the trailer, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we can add that as a topic of conversation as far as, and that could be something that if you do end up letting others outside of the county utilize it, it's something that they're charged for.
Yeah.
I definitely think that would be a better idea. I mean, if they're, I
Versus,
mean, we're doing it for our county residents, but when somebody outside of the county wants to, they need to rent them.
Right, that's what Brittany just said, they charged Sherman County when they used them, so.
Okay.
yeah,
That's,
Sheriff?
Yeah, so we're like 18 years, almost 19 years, it didn't cost anybody anything. For the use of them.
Yeah.
It's been a great asset, a great thing, and I would hate to see it go to where there's all of these rules and criteria set around it now. I think it would be a deflection from people wanting to use them in some cases. I mean, maybe an agreement that they have, part of the requirement is they have the insurance of a licensed driver.
The agreement could say those requirements, it could say they need to be back in as good as condition as they were received and small deposit or not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
and it could be like, when you go to a hotel and you give them your credit card for incidentals.
And you get it right back.
Yeah, and then, you subject to a $50 cleaning charge or whatever it is.
Of course, we've all been involved in organizations that use them a lot.
Right.
And, sometimes it's spur of the moment trying to find somebody to get it. You've got to take time to sign documents and pay money and all of this stuff. It's just, I think the intent was you need them, you get them if you're in the county and there's no charge. And I mean, over 18, 19, almost years, there's been maintenance costs.
Yeah.
Now
Minimal.
they're in a spot where
Yeah.
a lot needs to be done, but
Right.
That's all community based and I just
Right,
hate to
right.
see a lot.
And maybe you're right on that.
yeah, the repairs have been in the past, all the repairs that were done on it, when I was involved with it. With the Arlington Chamber, we repaired that trailer a lot. It was all volunteers who repaired it.
Right.
Julius Courtney did lots of repair, James, and he works for the city now. He did all the welding, I mean, we had lots of repairs.
Tires.
Yeah, people
Fourth of
bought
July,
tires, yeah.
We had a couple tires that they were gonna work, so.
Okay.
It's all been volunteer at this point and.
Yeah.
That's, it's a terrific service and.
Okay, we'll further discuss the agreement if we need one. But the main thing is it needs to get repaired.
Yeah.
I mean, for today's discussion and then. We can bring back to another meeting. Do we want to have a contract? Or not?
Okay. The next thing that I had as far as a request that's all in cumbersome with this request is also to establish an online reservation system so that if we were to have a credit card just being held or deposit, that they could put that in there, they could upload their driver's license, proof of insurance, it would all be in there. And then we would have access to an online booking calendar so that anybody could look on there and see and book, and it would take down a lot of the admin time that we're having to do as far as manually entering those things. And then it would send out the automatic reservation confirmations and those types of things. The platforms that I was looking at with Kelly Nonprofit didn't have you could do the Arlington tables and chairs and the Condon, location Condon ones. So that could be potentially something that would help, you know,
Yeah,
both ends. So that was something that I do have within the request. It's expected $30 a month for 12 months. And yeah, so that was something that I threw in there for you guys. Also in the request is request for funds to help complete the cart updates. That's primary focus. Number one is the carts
Right.
themselves. The tables themselves and chairs are dirty and old. They need tape removed from them. They could probably use a good pressure washing and cleaning, but otherwise they stand up still. They still function as tables and chairs. So I know that you had previously talked about potentially
if they need to be-
rehoming them, if you wanted to, but you know, depends on what you want to have in that trailer, but in my mind, it still holds a pie, so
You think the tables and chairs were good? If they're cleaned?
if they're cleaned.
Okay.
They do need a good cleaning and stuff, so that's why I did include that in here. That if you wanted to buy the tables and chairs separately, the total cost to replace all of those would be $6,549. If you're just repairing the carts or replacing the carts, it would be $1,200, and then the carts plus a ramp replacement is like $1,600. So all in, I guess you guys have, you also have that, but all in, would include replacing the tables and chairs, replacing the carts, installing a storage unit inside there for cleaning supplies as well as the hitch and the straps so that
Yeah.
it's all right there. So hopefully incentivize people to clean it as well. A duplicate key creation, inside wood paneling needs to be fixed a little bit. And then the yearly reservation system. And then I've also added in a $150 a month admin cost so that we would be going and looking at these things each time. So I don't know if that's something that the county would, you know, look at. But you know, like we've said, it's mostly been run off of volunteers in the past. And it would
So-
be nice to.
What are your thoughts on replacing the tables and chairs? That's the biggest expense here. Do you think, I mean, for the people who've used them? I mean, maybe we should look at them clean and see what they look like once they're clean.
They're the chairs. 'Cause the chairs are newer than the tables, right?
Well, originally they were all bought at the same time, but there has been a lot of the chairs, I think, have been replaced through the year.
I think
Should have broken.
Yeah.
But and there's been chairs added and there was tables added,
Yeah.
you know, originally.
Right.
To-
There's some that look pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe we need to like
Inventory.
What?
get them clean, see where we're at, and do we have the right amount?
30 is about how many will fit in there.
Okay.
Currently with
It's not
the
like
way that we
some
have.
went missing along the way or something.
No, it doesn't, no, it doesn't appear so.
All right, so I say let's do the cleaning process and see which ones may or may not be good, because when
Mhm.
people have weddings and stuff,
Right.
you want everything to look good.
Mhm.
And then make that assessment on the tables and chairs.
Mhm.
So take care of that once they're
Mhm.
clean, tape removed, all of that.
Does the county have, or do you have any ideas on how best to do that? A pressure washer and
We could just
like
start
a
making stuff.
handful of people
Yeah.
to do it would be the best way to go about it. I do not have access to those resources or the manpower to accomplish that.
Well, we
So
can
we
check with the
will-
maintenance department.
Okay.
A couple of people who Haley and Daryl might be able to get it done.
Okay, cool.
We'll work
And
with
work with us, yeah, whichever way, but we can
Okay.
do that.
Be a spring project now, this one.
Yeah, it might be,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying, like, if we got, 4 or 5 people and a pressure washer and some good scrubber stuff, maybe we could get it cleaned out in an afternoon, I
I
don't
think
know.
you need a rush.
Yeah,
You did look at 4-H clubs and or FFA looking for community
There we
service
go.
projects.
there we go.
Yeah, that's good.
But like, yeah, if we just set it all up one day and got it cranked out,
We have a pressure washer.
okay, yeah.
She said road department and that will have pressure.
And the
washer.
Mr. Clean things are wonderful almost.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if the county decides that you wanna get brand new ones, I know of a great organization that could use those tables and chairs.
Okay,
Free community center.
all right, so that'll be that assessment. So let's talk about the repairs.
Okay.
I think your list of repairs, just, we need to proceed with those.
Right, yeah.
We have to, everything else. that's-
Except for the tables and chairs.
Yes,
Okay,
Mhm.
and what about the reservation system and admin?
Yeah,
I like the
that's a
reservation
good-
system, do you? And the admin goes with that, so I concur with that. Commissioner Wilkins, do you have any thoughts?
No, that all sounds good. See what we have and then if
I
we
do
need
have-
to replace some things, and I do think there needs to be some way of, like I say, holding those people accountable that use it. Maybe, like I say, I like the idea of the $200 refundable if it's returned and everything.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah. Sounds good.
So the cart, what cart did you pick? Because that's the big issue with the.
I linked it into the spreadsheet that I sent you guys, so you do have hard links in the one that I emailed you, and so you
Okay.
can take a look at those and
Okay.
see if they're
Okay.
copacetic to what you like, and you can
Have
double
you
check it.
looked at that cart though?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, the ones that I picked, as far as the table carts, they have sides, the tables lay flat. And then it fits 10 tables, you get 3 of those carts for the tables themselves, and then the carts for the chairs will be standing straight up and down.
Are they four, how many wheels did they?
4.
4 wheels.
4
Okay,
wheels,
they're
and then,
stable, they're
yeah,
not-
and then we wouldn't have the dolly
Okay.
situation anymore. So that would free up a little bit of room in there.
Okay.
Yeah, those were the chair,
We're handmade, yeah.
they were hand trucks that were modified.
Oh.
Each end were hand trucks that were modified, to, move the chairs, so there was a lot of, those things weren't really available, so.
No, I mean, the technology
Yeah.
is improved.
Yeah.
The engineering is improved.
Exactly.
And the review said that it should be good on concrete or grass, so.
Okay. Well, the other thing too is let's see how this works with this trailer, and then if we made an error, we'll
We don't
do
order the
something
same
different
thing
for the
again.
second one. Let's see how this goes. So we're ordering the carts, we're doing the modifications, we're going to pressure wash the trailer, the tables and chairs. And we're gonna do the reservation system and the admin fee. Does everybody concur with that? Yeah. Okay. And then we'll work on Arlington after this.
Perfect.
Yeah, there's no carts or anything. in there.
No, yeah,
But we did buy a trailer with a ramp, that was.
yes, we feel
That
very
helps.
spoiled whenever we get to use that.
This trailer doesn't have a ramp.
No, but it, in the quote, there's a new ramp
Oh, okay.
in there
Good,
as well.
Good.
And then would you like us to purchase it, the chamber purchase it and submit for reimbursement for this? Or would you like the county to move forward with the links that I've submitted and you guys order it? Or how would you prefer?
Let's talk about that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
I'll talk to our finance person and ask the best way forward. You make a note for me on that, thank you. Thank you very much, Brittany. Yeah. Okay, consider approval of fair office proposal from Pillar Consulting. Fair board member?
There's 3 of us here.
Oh, yes, there
4
are.
of us here.
Yeah.
It'd be an illegal meeting, it would be advertised.
It's a public meeting already.
Yes, so I believe you have the Pillar Consulting Group, proposal. In the amount of $35,310 for. The engineering and design of a new office, at the Gilliam County Fairgrounds. For those that don't know, the current office is leaking roof and it's got lots of issues, and is in serious need of replacement. Probably won't make it through this winter as far as roof goes, at
How old
least
is
in
that?
ceiling.
It's existing.
It was a donated, double wide mobile home from George Kleinbaugh. It came from the Rock Creek area. And I don't know how many years ago.
All right.
But anyway, this proposal just includes basically the engineering of the building and to include ADA and those kinds of things. The job itself and permitting and all of those kinds of things will be done by the fair board, and which reduces the cost substantially. I do have a drawing, if
Yeah,
you
like
want
to
to
see.
see those. I'll give Leah one, even though I know she's seen it.
Maybe a couple times.
Yeah.
Couple hundred.
Okay. So like you said, it'll have a sloped roof like the new event center
it'll-
to complement that design, right?
Yeah, it'll face the event center, same style roof, and we got the same engineer, so they'll complement each other. It'll be turned so that the face is north.
Mm-hmm.
Backside will be south, so it'll be turned opposite of what the office is current. But basically the same design. With entry, porch, service windows. And then the inside has two offices that'll accommodate, at least our plan and hope is the extension service with the storage room, and then the rest of the area is pretty much open. So not a lot of walls inside. The inside's gonna be pretty simple. The electrical, plumbing, data will all be contractor designed during the time of the build, which cuts down on the cost substantially.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. Do you have anything to add?
No, we just need to. We're gonna have to get more buckets out this year for all the leaks. If we
There's
don't-
leaks, yeah.
Well, and the other issue I always point out is the porch, and it's not ADA.
Right.
So like last year during the fair, we had somebody in a wheelchair that was sitting down on the ground, and we had to take things out of there, so.
And not to mention where the entry door is into the porch is rotten.
Yeah.
We know it needs rebuilt, but it would just be a can of worms.
Yeah,
Once we open
I
that
think
up.
we originally got a bid to try to redo that porch, and then they were like, oh, now this is gonna go down the ADA road, so it was like.
Okay. So also, the potential vision is an extension would move up there.
Yeah.
Which could end up being should end up being a cost savings to Gilliam County, because we pay extension in part for their office currently.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the benefit is we've always looked for ways to utilize the use of the fairground buildings and property, and by having them up there every day, I think they work 4 days a week probably or whatever, but they could utilize it for 4-H meetings and just different things. There's a large meeting area in there that.
And it's countywide. We have 4-H participants on both ends of the county, so this isn't just a Condon benefit. It's countywide,
Right.
even though it is on the south end, but it benefits all.
Yeah, I think, and it's a good improvement to the property as well. But with this, that's not on the agenda, but this morning I got the bid for demolition of the old office. That if I could bring it back, or maybe the court could consider that at this time as well.
Okay, what is that?
It's, I don't have copies, and I'll provide you a copy, but it's demolition from Watkins Excavating
Okay.
in the amount of $9,300, and that would be the removal of the existing building to include all the cleanup, so it'll disconnection of utilities.
They do all that, okay.
Yeah, so it'll be, build ready, I guess, after the building's removed.
Good. And when can this start?
Once the county gives approval to start, kind of my hope is to first step, get that building removed. And then if the whole project's approved, then to possibly get the groundwork done and through a separate bid prior to awarding bid for construction.
So bid for construction, I'm just thinking budget wise, would the construction start next budget year?
We're hoping, so the tentative plan is the design will be done this month.
Mhm.
Go out to bid in January, 1st of February, with a project date of hopefully March.
Okay, so that would be this budget year. So we do have
You wanna pay, I mean, we have our capital projects.
capital projects, yeah. So we do have
Yeah.
funding. I just was thinking about
And
that.
of course, with these things, it's pretty,
Mhm.
pretty flexible. Plan doesn't always work, but.
Commissioner Wilkins, input?
No, I'm good with that. Sounds like everybody's working diligently to keep the cost down as much as we can, and we just need to get it going and get it taken care of.
Okay, so we'll need, I'm gonna say 2 separate motions. You're probably gonna have to abstain from the one.
I am,
Okay.
even though Watkins Excavating LLC is only Rick and Jared, I think I'll still, okay, stay out of it.
Okay, all right, so we have the proposal from Pillar Consulting, for, and this is for design, correct? Design,
Yes.
okay. And that is for, in the amount of $35,310, correct? Okay.
Correct.
I move to approve the, design fee amount of $35,310 for the Fairgrounds office, for Pillar Consulting Group Inc.
Okay, I think I can vote on this, I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on this piece? Okay, none? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, and then on the demolition, do we have a motion on the demolition?
Can I just make one comment? I don't know what the bid rules are.
Yeah,
If that meets the threshold or not to have to go out for more bids, I guess my justification.
You're fine,
Okay,
but
thank you.
your justification?
That we don't have local, we'd have to go outside the area, which is gonna obviously drive the cost up, so.
Yeah, you're within that amount, so
Okay.
$9,300, so. We don't really need to take action on that part, so can just go ahead and proceed. Okay, all right. Are you comfortable with that? Commissioner Wilkins?
There's a quick question in the packet. There's 2 service agreements that have 2 different rates. What is that? Like he has 2 service proposals.
Oh, one was a higher amount.
Yeah.
Fairgrounds office, we went with the lower amount.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was the reduced cost amount.
I think the second one, he included some electrical and some other stuff where
It would have been
Sure.
almost 70,000.
Medcourt said that they were contracting that.
Yeah,
Contractor design so there's no electrical data and plumbing engineering costs.
right. Reduced cost, thank you. All right. Is that all you need?
So
Yes.
I'll just make one comment. I know when they get ready, they'll have to have somebody from IT go up there and take out the internet stuff that,
So we'll have to have rack pump involved.
yeah.
Okay. We can take care of that with him. Sure, when that coordinate that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cause they'll get the power company to, the power when the time comes.
Right.
good. Thank you.
Okay, and I'll make a couple copies of that.
Okay, good. All right, 6.8, consider adoption of resolution terminating dissolution proceedings for the Port of Arlington. We contacted our legal counsel and they said the proper course is we actually wouldn't have to do anything, but since we started with the resolution, this would be the conclusion of the resolution. So there's a resolution before you, R 2025-16, stating we're terminating the dissolution proceedings for the Port of Arlington.
Okay, I'll move to approve resolution R 2025-16.
I will second the motion.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number R 2025-16. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Sorry.
Motion carries. Okay, is there any other business? So our next meeting is going to be December 17th in Arlington. We're having a county party. I don't have the date. Yes, the date. It's the 18th, so Christmas get together. Autumn has been helping us put that together. She's done a great job. We went to AOC, Association of Oregon Counties Conference, 3 commissioners, lots of networking, learned some things. Good use of our time. Power's an issue. There's quite a few classes we went to that didn't have a lot of promising news, which is hard to hear. It's good to hear hope.
I know, I think prior to going to AOC, I read the article in the paper about all the blackouts in Arlington. And then you go down there and sit in that CREA meeting and they're like, the guy from Lakeview got up in the CREA meeting and said his wife was currently without power running a generator.
Oh,
So
jeez. Yeah,
it's definitely something we've got to tackle.
right. It's a big concern. Monday before I went to AOC, SWCD, Jason Campbell, Anthony Campbell, Sustainable Northwest, and I went to Salem and testified before the Natural Resources Committee on potential statewide funding for virtual fence systems to replicate the idea that was done here. And it was very well received. And I think we have some great future leaders in our county, and 2 of them are Jason and Anthony Campbell. They got up there and spoke and explained in layman's terms what they went through to people that don't have a lot of knowledge of what this is and how it works. And I painted a really great picture and did a wonderful job. And that was a really good experience. Anya's been out, so she's back part-time now. So thank you for everything and getting back on your feet. Everybody else picked the slack up while you were gone. Go ahead.
Can I just ask a question? Could you tell me what the status is of the Cedar Springs Road Waste Management?
That is Grant.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, we're still, the last word that I was passed on to me was we have a wetland mitigation issue that they're submitted to the state for a solution. And that's kind of where we're at right now. And once we get that, then we need to go forward with getting the existing path, getting ownership or working with Mr. Hoseapple on getting that taken care of, and then proceed after that. But right now, the wetland mitigation is still an issue.
Okay. All right. Thank you. This week we were host county for a renewable energy summit through National Associations of Counties. So there were representatives from all over the nation here yesterday, and they were in the Dalles Monday night. I went to a reception, and Wasco County, Sherman County, and Gilliam County were the host counties. It started with the reception. Yesterday morning, we went to Montague Solar and toured the solar farm, and Cameron Krebs did a wonderful job, another great future leader. And he gave a overview of the grazing under the solar, again, fire mitigation, and explained to them how the sheep are utilized that way. There is a lot of development across the nation. I found out when talking to these people, that is wind, solar, and data centers. There's a lot of data centers going in, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, there. And so we went from Montague Solar, which is Avangrid. Then we went to Avangrid's office and watched a presentation presented by their team about repowers, how the turbines are utilized, what their business decisions, how they work with the counties, the community benefits, all the things from the economic development standpoint of these companies that are here. From there, we left, I came back to work, but the bus of people went to Sherman County and went to Avangrid's training center, which is in Sherman County. And they ate at the Dirty Cowgirl. They all went there for lunch and then toured some of Sherman County's projects. When they were in Gilliam County, it was so foggy they couldn't see one wind turbine. But anyway, by the time they got to Sherman, I think it was sunny. And then today, what they're doing is touring the Google data center in the Dalles. So it's a way for counties to collaborate and communicate and learn from each other. And I can see some real hope there because we're kind of out on an island when we're working with these companies, and it's just good to have resources and networking.
So that's interesting. They didn't go to Morrow County?
They didn't go to Morrow County. And I think it just started with an idea that was presented to Joe DeBolskus, and he just went with what he knew. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's exciting. And it was a good way to showcase what we have going. So, is there anything else? Grant? Commissioner Wilkins?
I have a CAPECO meeting on Friday. I'm gonna drive up in person if the weather's good.
Here.
So it's in,
oh.
It's supposed to be warm and hot.
It's supposed to be
warm and hot.
raining.
The wind's gonna blow Friday.
Oh.
45-mile-an-hour gusts. Breezy, windy. Heads up.
Well, hopefully it'll blow me
Commissioner
up the
Wilkins,
freeway.
do you have anything?
Yes, I'm meeting with Morrow County Commissioner Jeff Winholtz either next Monday or Tuesday to discuss some things that was brought up in the Korea meeting in Eugene, and then we have our normal Korea meeting on the 11th. But yeah, the conference was not really a lot of good news. We're so fortunate. And I feel so bad for some of these counties. And I mean, I almost felt guilty. I mean, we have the possibility of more projects coming and good things. And I didn't say anything to anybody, but my gosh, we've just, we've got a lot of things that coming down the road that I think are going to be pretty good. And power is a huge, huge thing that's coming, the shortage. And
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. The gas line, the pipes, I don't know. I don't know what we could do, but I think we need to kind of be thinking about somehow, some way, possibly our two main cities. We might try to be thinking about something outside the box somehow, maybe way to have some generation for emergency backup power. I mean, I don't know. I know there's some places that have them, but man, it just does not sound good coming down the road. The power supply and transmission and meeting the generation requirements. Big challenges.
All right. Yeah. Okay, is there any other business?
The work session.
Oh, that's okay. So thank you, Brooklyn. We do have a work session for the handbook next, the 10th.
It's Wednesday. 10 a.m.
10 a.m. And that's on our employee handbook, and it's 10 a.m. on the 10th. 10 and 10. Well, 10 and 10.
You guys would have received the proposals sometime in the beginning of November.
Mhm.
We had one last meeting to review what we received, which was very minimal from the employees. So if we had any additions, they would be added tomorrow after that meeting. But that packet you guys received it in the beginning of November should be all encompassing.
Thank you.
The proposals and the handbook, and
Good.
that's what we'll go over. This Wednesday.
Good, thank you. Oh, one other thing, I'm sorry, one other thing I want to mention. I want to work on scheduling a housing meeting. From the meeting we had with Greg Smith, the Director of Housing and Community Services, and the 3 counties, they will come help us with technical assistance on housing solutions. And so the port, the cities, and the county, I think we should all sit down together and talk and have that resource available to talk to us. And as well talk, oh, the other one is Pioneer CDC, the table, to talk about the lot development incentive concept. And January, sometime in January is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think we had one, in 23.
A meeting with the port and.
And they invited contractors and all kinds of different people to it, both the mayors.
Yeah. So we'll get that scheduled as long as, I just want to make sure you knew what I was thinking. Or what we were thinking. Okay. All right.
Not till after the first week.
Yeah,
right?
January. Yeah. We'll do it in January. Okay, thank you. Meeting's adjourned.
Thank you.